Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guest and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety for F-O-R, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Robert Stewart.
And this is Season 9 of Collateral Cinema. Welcome to the Season 9 premiere of Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in the state of South Texas. And yes, my friends, we are definitely 420 friendly. So whatever you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, vapes, joints, whatever it is, smoke it if you've got it, my friends. I'm going to start us off with just one question. Do zombies fuck?
Yes, they do.
Apparently they do.
Apparently so, right? Yes, in case y'all haven't seen the title of this episode, yeah, we are getting into quite possibly one of the greatest and most fun splatter movies of all time. This is one of the kings of gore. When it comes to just blood and guts and all kinds of carnage just everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we're talking about Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, a.k.a. Braindead. Came out in 1992. And let me tell you, this is just one of my favorite horror movies of all time, one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. I mean, it's just so much fun, and I've just been really, really, really wanting to talk about this movie for so long, and finally we get to do it for spooky season. Of course, we always have to start our season off in October, and we just get right into the horror content. And this is what I think of when you just want a good, fun horror movie to put on. This is a party movie, even.
Fuck yeah.
So let's get into some. First of all, let's introduce our guest. Once again, returning is Stu from the Stu World Order podcast. How are you doing, Stu?
I am doing very well, thank you. Yes, happy to be back. Always happy to talk to you guys. Happy to talk about Dead Alive, which this was my first ever viewing of it.
Mine too. Excellent.
Yeah. That is awesome. And we'll go ahead and start with the first initial thoughts with you, Stu, on that note.
So first initial thoughts on Braindead, Dead Alive, whichever version you want to call it. It's an interesting movie. It's very interesting. I saw the version that you can watch for free on YouTube, and apparently, as we were talking about before we started recording, that is a Blu-ray transfer that has additional scenes added in, and that was throwing me as I watched it, because there are moments in the movie where the colorization changes, the quality of the image changed, and I couldn't figure out why that was happening, and then you guys cued me in that must must be when the additional scenes were thrown in. But it is it's interesting. It sure is something that I've never seen before, and I know a lot of people love this movie. I think it's fine. I think it's a movie that has a lot of ups and downs. I think there's a lot of good aspects to it. There were a lot of parts of this movie that I really liked, and there were a lot of parts that weren't really as much for me. So it should be better to talk about than a movie that's just kind of average from start to bottom, a movie that just kind of maintains a pretty mediocre pace from beginning to end.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a movie that it just kind of comes at you on all cylinders, just right off the bat and everything. Ash, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, actually, I lied earlier because when I was watching this, I thought it was my first viewing, and then I recalled that you've 100% put this on before while I was hanging out with you and Robert Bowe. So I have seen this before.
Yeah.
And I remember, recalling some of the scenes, but this was the first time I sat down and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Dead Alive, a.k.a. Braindead. First of all, I'm a huge Peter Jackson fan. I mean, Lord of the Rings is actually, incidentally, one of my picks for this season. I booked a two-parter for us later on for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, completely unaware we were doing a different Peter Jackson movie. And that was the first thing you said to me, Bo. I was like, oh, yeah, we're opening up with a Peter Jackson movie. And I was like, okay. So I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, so let me look, for some of that style. First off, the cinematography, wow. Some of these shots look really, really good. I mean, I was just really impressed by it. And I was watching this on Plex, which my uncle uploaded a version that is 4K on his server. Now, I've heard from someone that actually this film has not been officially released in 4K except for like one screening or something. So it's possibly it was possibly upscaled, but even so, I'm getting to see all of those shots and just that glorious quality. Now, I didn't get the extra content that you guys did that is in the Braindead version. I watched the Dead Alive version, but even so, I was just savoring each of those shots. Also, this movie is just very much up Collateral Cinema's alley. It's just got that, fun, schlocky slasher feel that I've come to associate with the podcast. And I also, Peter Jackson is just a master of his craft when it comes to the practical effects that are used. I mean, we know this guy he's a special effects guy. I mean, he's really good at it. We saw that later, but here with all practical effects, I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen that much blood on a single shot of film before.
Well, I think that's something that would surprise a lot of people about Peter Jackson, going into his career, is that early on, he really made these really schlocky, uber violent, and really silly movies. Like, his first movie was a movie called Bad Taste, and that is essentially about a bunch of aliens going into a New Zealand town, kidnapping all the locals and turning them into fast food burgers in space and everything for other aliens. And that one just kind of set the standard for how Jackson would actually approach filmmaking in general. He pretty much said that movie was pretty much film school for him, because he didn't have any actual film school experience, because he was just like, I don't want somebody to tell me how to make a movie. I want to figure out how to do it right. So, and you're right, Ash. He did initially kind of start off more with special effects, but he kind of went from there and kind of segued into directing and even acting. I mean, he actually had a pretty prominent role in his first movie, Bad Taste. He's this really crazy dude that's part of the task force that's trying to deal with these aliens and everything.
Hell yeah!
But he also made the immortal Meet the Feebles, which is just this fucked up, crazy fucking Muppets on acid movie. I mean, something that's actually been it's actually been referenced in a recent Muppet skit that he was in. They actually kind of reference it as like, oh no, we saw what you've done with Muppets before. So and he was just like, oh yeah, that movie was pretty gross. But honestly, and this was like the third movie that he made. This is only his third movie, and it's amazing just how much of a grasp that he really kind of built on, how to really approach filmmaking and how to approach the special effects of this movie, because this is pretty much the culmination of 2 full movies worth of filmmaking for him.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what do y'all think? Stu, have you seen either Meet the Feebles or Bad Taste?
I've not. I've heard of Bad Taste. I can picture the poster for Bad Taste in my head. It's got the guy, it's the little practical effect monster like flipping off the world or whatever.
Yes,
I can picture the poster in my head, but I've never seen it. No, I've never heard of Meet the Feebles before, so that's a new one by me.
Oh my God, you have to track that down and watch it because it is just insane. And once you see the practical effects in that movie, a lot of the effects in this movie will make a little more sense, especially Vera Cosgrove's puppet at the end. I mean, he really kind of developed a really interesting sense of character design just from working on Meet the Feebles.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll see if I can turn that up somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching it. I pirated back. I did a pirate copy of it back in the day. I got it off of Pirate Bay because there was a little bit of time where it was a little difficult to find on physical media. So, I mean, you might be able to, I think there was a re-release, you might be able to find it, but I highly recommend everybody watch those first 2 Peter Jackson movies because you will absolutely see a lot of the techniques and a lot of the set designs and a lot of the, just a lot of the things that he would apply in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean, they're all pretty much here, right, Ash?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can definitely see it. And although, I mean, this was a box office bomb at the time, I can see why it's received a cult following since. And, it's just kind of like it's the documentation of the journey, really, I guess,
Yeah.
And also, I got to say, bro, Latinas.
Oh yes, Paquita Maria Sanchez.
Yes. Oh my God, dude. That scene where she just kisses him, man. I'm like, fuck. Why can't I find a girl like that?
Oh my God. Yeah, we have to talk about Lionel and Paquita as a couple here. I mean, this is pretty much like Momo and Okaru levels of adorable.
It is, man.
Like,
'Cause
seriously.
at its core, this is a love story, right?
100%. I think that's really what makes this a truly unique and timeless movie is that at its core, it's just a really cute love story about these 2 people who, I mean, like fate is pretty much like bringing them together, but not in a very, very consistently good way. I mean, it's through all this fucked up shit that happens because of this goddamn rat monkey that is sent to the zoo. Here.
A monkey from Skull Island, by the way. A monkey.
Yes.
From Skull Island. I thought that was interesting, considering Peter Jackson directed that King Kong movie later.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the movie starts off on Skull Island, and it has that hilarious scene where kind of referencing maybe Indiana Jones a little bit with the
it does
the
feel like
tribesmen
Indiana Jones.
actually chasing them. Yeah, it might be a little allusion to Raiders there a little bit. But you have that great moment where, the dudes, like, they know what's up. They know what this thing is, and they know that, I mean, you get scratched or bit, you're going to have to deal with it. So, I mean, they call it Zingaya. And I love the slapstick of that scene. It's just like, first he sees Zingaya on his arm, then he says, the other dude's like, Zingaya, and it's on his other arm, and they chop it off, and then they see his forehead, and it's like, Zingaya! And then title sequence. That is just perfect. Perfect way to actually set up the tone of this movie. It's very silly, but also very lighthearted. I think that's something that's really interesting about the tone of this movie is that even when you have sleazy and uncomfortable characters like Vera and Les Cosgrove, the brother and sister here, I mean, it's still not really as mean-spirited as you would think it is. right?
It is a very light tone. Like I really enjoy it. It's just kind of got this like campy feeling to it. I mean, you're just seeing all this horrific shit. I mean, we'll talk about the lawnmower scene, of course, but but all throughout, I mean, yeah, even going into some of the themes here, you know, you've got this overbearing mother, something that I think a lot of people can relate to, at least to some small degree. Not to this extreme, probably.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing that about how Peter Jackson approached this movie was how he approached the thematic elements and some of the motifs here. I mean, for one, it is very much a story about how Vera Cosgrove is this domineering mother and how that just casts a shadow over Lionel's life, you know, and over his relationships and everything. And to the point where at the end of the day, Vera Cosgrove is the big bad of this story. She is the villain, 100%. I don't even consider the rat monkey or the disease or Zingaya to be the real enemy here. Not even the zombies. The zombies are just kind of the side effect of Vera's domineering nature. And she just kind of pays for it in the end, right?
Yeah, this is really the story of Lionel getting out from under his mother's thumb because he spends so much of the movie, you know, listening to her and obeying her and whatever she says goes. And even to the point where even when she's dead, he's still sacrificing his own life to try and better whatever she has left of hers. And it's not until the very, very end of the movie that it really becomes about like, all right, I've got to set out for what I want and get out from under this character's thumb and get out under this character's rule. And that's really where the plot of this movie is finally building up to at the end.
Yeah, and I was going to say that I think the zombies are really just the mechanic by which Lionel overcomes this journey. You know, it's his hero's journey is just getting out from under his mom's thumb, like you guys said. And I thought that it was very interesting that at the end, she actually does appear to have her humanity intact or her personality. Because, you know, at first we'd think, okay, she just turned into a zombie and that's why she's doing all this. But at the end, I mean, that's her. And he makes it a point to talk about the way that she treated him while she was alive and getting away from that. So I think you're right, Bo. I mean, I think the mom really is the Vera Cosgrove. She is the real villain here. And I think that's such an interesting story to use in a film like this.
It really is, and it really manifests itself in that final scene, basically the final boss moment of the movie when she
the
just
Resident
comes
Evil
through
final boss, right?
Yes, that's what it is. It's like a Resident Evil final boss, right? Like she just comes up from the ground. She's all transformed, but yeah, you're right. She has that sentience. She's pretty much the manifestation of this evil mother figure that's been domineering over Lionel this entire life. Like she's just a complete bastardization of motherhood, you know? And to the point where she even forces him back into her womb, forcing Lionel to have a symbolic rebirth on the top of the house while it's burning down. Like it's intrinsic that he's able to have that rebirth, you know? And what does he use to cut out of his mom's womb? He uses the necklace, the pendant that was given to him. You know, which is also another weird thing about this movie is that there's a lot of real predeterministic stuff going on here. You know, it's like this is very much fated to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's literally in the script, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's the whole reason why these characters even fall in love is that she gets like a fortune or whatever that says that, you know, she's going to meet this man and they're going to become romantically entangled and all these things are going to happen. And so, you know, she would have gone with the other douchebag, but nah, she went with Lionel because it was fated to happen. And you know, like you said, Bo, they're just so cute together. But also, I just love Latina Sonic.
I like that she has no interest in Lionel whatsoever whenever they first meet in this movie. I mean, they apparently have like some kind of relationship where he comes to this store regularly, but she is not interested in him. She's really honestly kind of put off by him.
Yeah.
But then she reads the tarot cards with her mom, and her mom says, "Oh, you're gonna meet this guy under this star sign with a moon over it." And then she sees that sign whenever they're together in the store, and like all of a sudden she just throws away her already determined feelings about this guy and just is like, "Oh yeah, no, I love you. We're gonna be together now." And that, yeah, like you're saying, it's very predeterministic and just saying like, I mean, there's not a lot of free will in this movie until you get to Lionel forcing his way back out of his mother's womb at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly. And of course, you also have the other side of that being Les Cosgrove, which is the uncle who we meet in the at Vera's funeral. And oh my God, that guy is just a skis ball. He's a skeezer, man, right? Like, ew.
Yes. Yeah. He's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, he just shows up and he just bleeds contempt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, he's one of those characters they introduce in these movies that you're going to love to hate because he's so slimy and he's such a skis ball, and he immediately comes in and starts hitting on Paquita, and he starts talking to Lionel about like, oh, the girl with the cute butt or whatever that he refers to her as, and you're waiting this entire movie for this guy to get his comeuppance because you know that's what the movie needs. That's the payoff that the audience is waiting for, is seeing this like just this shitbag character get what's coming to him.
Yes. And he meets his end, I think, as a human, too, I believe. I don't even think he goes zombie before they kill him. But one thing I just thought about was that it's interesting how we have a personality like this that most audiences instantly are going to see as a skis bag. I mean, he's written that way, right? But then, you know, we have these same personalities running for president.
Yeah, no shit. Jesus Christ. It's like, yeah. I mean, are you saying that Les was New Zealand MAGA? Is that what he was? Oh, Jesus. But to that point, I mean, what I was going to say is what makes him a very interesting character in the end, though, is how capable he is during the actual zombie attack. I mean, he actually survives to like for quite a while, and he goes like all out here, man. I mean, there's just that scene where he's literally just carving zombies left and right with like glee. It's like, no, this is where the character actually kind of comes into his own, and he's just like, oh, you know what? He actually is kind of a little genre savvy even. Like he knows exactly what this is, and like he already knows it's like, what's this? She got bit, she's gonna turn into one of them. It's like straight up even saying, I've seen these movies before. So he becomes like this very aware character that is aware of all the tropes that are happening, and he kind of utilizes those tropes to his own benefit to take out zombies.
Yeah, as a screenwriter, you need this character to survive as long as you can because you really want to draw out the tension with the audience on like, well, what's going to happen?
True.
How bad is it going to be when this guy finally gets it? Are we going to see him get it as bad as we want? Is Lionel going to give it to him? Are the zombies going to give it to him? So you really need this character to have some competence in the face of the overall threat that everyone's facing, because you need to build and build and build the audience's desire to finally see him just get taken down.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
And ultimately his motive for all of this is that he wants the house and the money with Lionel's inheritance and everything. And he just basically in the end strong arms his way into Lionel's house. And that's pretty much what sets up the events. It sets all the events in motion for the climax. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of those characters that, yeah, like you said, you want to get as much out of him as you can because, I mean, he's just so reprehensible. But I mean, like I said, he's so genre savvy, though. You know,
yeah,
almost to the point where he becomes like an audience stand-in at one point in a weird way.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. But also, your mother ate my dog. Sorry, that scene just came up on the screen.
talk about some of these scenes in this movie, because this is definitely a movie that lives and dies by the scenes that those memorable scenes throughout. And there's lots of memorable characters that come in. Like right now, I'm at the veterinarian, the Nazi veterinarian. This is a scene that got a few extra additional add-ons in the version that I watched, which makes him even weirder, honestly. But it's like you already know that he's Nazi as fuck. You just know it. Just by what he's doing, it's like, oh no, this is like Mengele. But you also have that cool shot of him with the two antlers coming out from his head, where
Yes.
it just kind of shows that he's just kind of a little bit of a devil,
Yeah. No, it's really cool to see like techniques like that in action, with the camera work.
I wish we would have gotten more of him, because he's there for a bit. I think he has one scene. He's there for the scene where he sells the tranquilizer and then he's gone again. It would have been nice to have a little bit more of him as the movie went on.
Right, like put him into the finale. Just for some reason or another, he comes to the house and it gets into the chaos. Right.
Oh man, could you imagine?
Yeah, like Lionel invites him over to sell or to buy more tranquilizer, and he shows up and gets involved in everything. Yeah, definitely.
That would have been so
Not
hilarious.
enough Nazis getting killed in this movie.
I know, right? Why do
we need to see
a
Nazis get killed. I mean, we were deprived of that.
Absolutely. It's like, how the hell did we not get a zombie kill with a Nazi? It's like, I mean,
seriously.
We have an ass-kicking priest taking on greaser zombies, but we don't have a Nazi getting
a kick ass for the Lord
of zombies. Yeah, that scene. Once again, it's like there's a lot of like one and done scenes that just kind of come in. They do what they do. It does what it does, and then it just moves on and refuses to elaborate. And that scene in the cemetery where the priest takes on the greaser zombies is one of those scenes, because it's like, where did this come from? Where did the martial arts come from? And why is it so badass?
I love it, dude.
It's like, what the fuck? If I remember the first time I saw that shit, I was just like, when he just says, I kick ass for the Lord, it's like, who is this for? It's like, was this just for me? It's like,
it's amazing,
shit.
Man.
I know. And just the effects in that scene are amazing, like and how it flows into the actual fight, like how the priest just that one zombie, he just kicks the legs out from underneath him and then takes all of his arms off and then kicks his head off. It's like my God, where did all that come from?
Yeah, well, where did it come from? I love it. Actually, one of the most memorable scenes for me, and it's because it's the one that's the hardest to watch. I can stomach most of the gore, but the custard scene, that's what gets me, because...
Oh, yeah, okay.
What we need is another
gross,
war.
That's disgusting.
I know, man. It's like... I mean, well, yeah, she's literally just completely rotting at that point. She's completely wrecked by the Zangaya curse or virus or whatever. But I love how her ear falls off and then plops right into the custard, and then she just eats it. And it's like, dude, that's all cartilage. It's like, would a zombie even want to eat that? I mean,
but
I don't know.
Again, it's a testament to the quality of the special effects work and also to the cinematography. Because it really just creates that feeling of grossness, and that's why it's so hard to watch. And like all of the gore in this movie is that way. It's very visceral.
Especially since in that scene, Vera obviously did that on purpose. She just popped her sore and just squirted right into his custard. It's like, oh, she did that on purpose. That was contempt right there.
I was like,
that was contempt.
While I was watching that. Oh, no, come on.
I was okay with him eating the bloody custard. I was like, I had to look away when she was eating her own ear. That was the part that was worse for me.
The pièce de la résistance of that is when she spits out the pearl earring.
Yeah.
She just spits it right out, and then that's the last part of that scene. It's like that is so incredible. I love that scene so much.
This movie is just just so gross.
So Ash, let me ask you something.
So
the custard in the pus and the custard squicked you out, but not the zombie fucking.
the zombie fucking was just hilarious.
No, zombie fucking was just hilarious. Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with that. I like that the uncle just heard it happening and you're just left there piecing it together in your head what's happening behind that door. And the uncle's like, oh, you found your dad's old stag tapes. And then Lionel's like, yeah, sure, that's what it is. Yeah.
The one with the donkey and the chambermaid. And it's like, what, motherfucker?
Also, what was his intention? Because he asks Lionel, he seems like he wants to go in and watch them, right? And then he's like, oh, there's some things a man should do alone. Duh. What were you planning on doing? Were you going to just sit one out with him and wank it together?
Well, you kind of have to get the whole trope with stag films in these types of movies. Like back in the day, it was all on like 16 millimeter, and it was an event to watch pornography, I guess. I mean, they had entire theaters for it. So, I mean, it was just kind of a different time, different thing.
Yeah, come on, bro. Let's just go watch the porno together. Awesome.
Let's go to the big theater, like in American Werewolf in London. Yeah.
Yeah, or Taxi Driver or some shit. But yeah, interestingly enough, there's an additional scene involving Nurse McTavish and the Reverend or the priest. Another very weirdly sexual moment where they, like in the middle of the chainsaw massacre, the lawnmower massacre scene, like they get impaled with a stick and everything, and then they just start kind of going in and out. It's very sexualized. It's like I could kind of get why they took it out of there, because I think one instance of zombie sex is enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's like, I mean, it actually surprised me. It's like that's even more graphically sexual than the first scene. Like, no wonder he took it out.
Yeah. I mean, that scene's already got so much going on as it is. Like I said, I mean, that is like the bloodiest thing I think I've ever seen on a movie. I mean, it is just red everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, but going back to the scene with the zombies at the dinner table, I just love the thought that Lionel just got these zombies to the dinner table and is just feeding them gruel. It's like, and then he has to like feed Nurse McTavish. It's like, my God, man. It's like that is hilarious. I love that scene. But yeah, the climax, the final scene of scenes of the movie, there's so much that's going on in there, and there's even additional footage that I saw in the version that I watched that even adds to it. Like, I mean, there's already a lot of shit happening, and there's even more to it than you think.
Oh, fuck.
But
yeah, I like all the stuff that this movie just goes like full Evil Dead in the final act here, and you just get nothing but blood and gore and viscera. I like the one zombie gets the back of her head impaled on a light bulb, and so she's just hanging out there for the whole rest of the movie with her head lighting up.
It's great. It's hilarious. I love that gag, man. There's so many great gags in this last final like 10 or 15 minutes alone. Like for one, the zombie guts that comes out of Homeboy's torso. It's like the sphincter farts, and then it goes up, and then it looks at itself in the mirror, and I'm just like, wow, what a puppet for one. Like
yes.
It's an impressive piece of practical effects. Honestly, very impressive.
Yeah, no, the practical effects all across this movie are pretty good, except for maybe the baby. And the baby is good when it's just the baby. It's the scenes when the baby is shot by itself and it's just like an adult running around in a baby costume. That looks kind of dumb, but everything else in this movie looks really good. I really like the practical effects in this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Selwyn the baby. That leads to, incidentally, Peter Jackson's his most favorite scene in this movie, scene that he's ever done, was the scene with Selwyn and Lionel at the park. Like he was basically just like, I wanted to just kind of add this real Buster Keaton-esque slapstick moment in this movie, a little bit of levity. And what's interesting is it's not a gory scene, but it's pure comedy. Like, I mean, you even have a hobo pretty much getting drunk watching him basically manhandle this baby. He's just like, yeah, that's right. Drop kick the baby. It's like, I don't know. I think that I feel that hobo. I feel him. I feel him there. Because I don't know. If you see something like that, you're just like, yeah, give me some more beer. This is entertainment. This is why I come here.
This is why I come to the park. Fuck them kids.
Exactly. Just see shit like this. but I love how, I mean, Lionel's just trying his best to look normal. Like even observing the other moms with babies in their carriage and just trying to match them, trying to do the same thing with Selwyn. I don't know why, because it's like, look at the thing. Obviously, it's going to fucking try to kill you and eat you. It's like, I mean, come on now. But no, that scene is just quite possibly the best moment of comedy in this movie. I mean, out of all the really comedic moments, it's like that one just sells it, you know, and it makes it's a better movie for having something like that, you know? I mean, something that's just pure silliness.
Yeah, it is pure silliness. And I like how it's so over the top without all the over the top gore that's in all of the other scenes.
Yeah.
I like that we have one scene
very
that's
basic
like that.
setup.
That's good.
Yeah, it just relies on
it's
the
just such
physical
a-
comedy,
such a
like you
basic
said, the
setup, right?
Buster Keaton aspect of things. It just relies on that instead of going for the blood and guts aspect of everything that every other scene in this movie does go for.
Yeah. But it's slapstick all throughout.
Yeah.
On this picturesque block, in this manicured home, something evil, something terrifying, something horrifying is haunting Lionel. His mother,
I thought I told you to spray this house. The place is infested with vermin.
although she was a little strict,
Look at this dust. It's an inch thick.
he never wished her any harm
You look after me like...
until
Your mother's dead, Lionel.
now, whatever Mom's got
Who's your mother?
has caught on with the neighbors.
You know what that means?
You can pray.
I kick ass for the law.
You can plead. You can beg for mercy.
Help! Someone! Please!
But nothing you can do will stop.
Thousands of them!
Because how do you kill something that's already dead? Trimark Pictures presents a modern masterpiece of horror.
Your mother ate my dog!
Dead Alive.
Party's over.
Yeah, I like the way that Selwyn is utilized during the final zombie attack in the last 15 minutes, because he's a goddamn little shit throughout that entire scene, man. Like he ends up racking Les in the nuts like twice, like 2 or 3 times in the entire sequence. Like, I mean, he's And he gives us pretty much that iconic moment where he rips through Rita's face, like pretty much giving us kind of what you see on the American DVD release. Except you're not seeing. I mean, on that poster, it's like somebody like trying to spread their mouth open, and there's like a skull in their mouth. But I mean, that gave us that iconic moment right there, and then that whole sequence, like it's total cartoon shit, where Paquita uses the frying pan on him, and then it just has the mold of his face in the frying pan.
Yes.
It's just like such cartoon. It's like that's when you're just like, in spite of all the gore, you can't take this seriously. It's like I don't even think it's really that gross of a movie, to be honest.
It certainly has its moments of being gross, but it's got a lot of other aspects going to it. It's got a lot of, like we said, physical humor. It's got a lot of kind of witty stuff going on in the final act, like we talked about with the frying pan and the light bulb and the zombie and everything, and the sphincter running around trying to like catch him with his tendrils. I mean, it's got a lot of other stuff going for it, definitely.
I'm really actually impressed by what they did with the greaser zombie when he's cut in half. It's like, I mean, the effects on that is really, really interesting, Mm-hmm. Like really interesting. Like I mean, it really sells that, he's really cut in half, and then he's just stuffed in a goddamn toilet. But I mean, there's a deleted scene where he actually managed to like wrap his legs over his shoulders or something, and he was using that to walk around. So yeah, there's a little more to his final moments whenever he's facing Lionel during the lawnmower scene on the stairway.
The lawnmower scene.
But once again, there's so much going on in that lawnmower scene alone that it's just like first off, you get that great slapstick moment where Lionel tries to run away, but there's so much blood he's running in place that he has to use the heads to walk. You have that, and then he's flinged out of the front door, and then he comes in with the lawnmower, and you're just like, oh well, shit, it's finally on.
Yeah,
it's like, oh Lord, here he comes.
I like how the red tones work, with the mood of the scene and what really.
Oh man, it's
yeah.
I mean, what I really like about that scene, the color grading in this movie entirely is actually really interesting, especially like in the basement, where the zombies are being kept, and even just all throughout the Cosgrove house. I mean, the Cosgrove's house is a mood in its own right, right?
Yo, it is. Most of the movie takes place in it, so it almost
that's true.
Going back to Resident Evil, it almost kind of gets a little bit of that Arklay Mansion vibe by the end.
Well, I mean, what's interesting is that it's actually way up on the top of the hill. It's kind of towering over the entire town, actually.
Yeah.
So it's basically another way that Vera Cosgrove is just kind of really, really just domineering, like not only over her son, but even just kind of over the whole town in a way. Like that house just kind of looms over everyone.
Yeah. Truly the real villain of the film, and I would not be surprised if there were many people in that town that were not too displeased to hear that she died.
It definitely seems like she's everybody's antagonist. Yeah,
like, oh, the old lady on the top of the hill died. Okay.
Like just look at the way that she treats the zookeeper when she's actually initially bitten by the rat monkey. Like first of all, she just kills their exhibit like nothing. Just crushes it like straight up, which is a pretty grody scene in its own right. But yeah, she just straight up not only treats the zookeeper like shit, but treats Paquita like shit as well. And what is probably the only actual interaction that her and Paquita have in the entire movie is pretty much that 1 second where she pretty much just pushes her away.
Yeah. No, I mean she's got that like psycho possessive shit that's just like you instantly hate her.
I know, yeah.
I also like we've been talking on and off about the effects in this movie. I like the stop motion effects of the rat monkey itself. I'm always a sucker for good stop motion effects, and a lot of this movie, as I was watching it, reminded me of Evil Dead 2, reminded me of Army of Darkness, and the stop motion effects on the rat monkey itself definitely was making me think of those movies. It's very well done.
Incidentally, we are doing Evil Dead as our next episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I mean, interestingly enough, that's another scene that just kind of comes along. It just happens and then it's never referenced again. And it's the only time that we see any kind of stop motion animation in the entire movie as well. It's just with that one scene. So it's like, I wonder if there was any plans to use any more stop motion in this movie.
They might have, but they might have realized how hard it is to do when they were doing the Rat Monkey scene and just said like, screw it, we're not doing any more of this. But the one scene they used it looks really good.
Yeah, it does. And well, for me, I feel like it's just like another one of those things in this movie that just comes and goes, like we mentioned before, like the Nazi, like the like the one scene that's just pure slapstick with the baby. You know, there's a lot of things in this film that are just, you know, like it's like Peter Jackson was like, we're gonna do this one thing, we're gonna go for this one vibe with this one scene, and then that's it, and that it all just kind of contributes to the whole picture.
Like for instance, at the funeral when we have the Undertaker and also his assistant, who is incidentally Peter Jackson himself. That's his director cameo, as he's the Undertaker assistant who watches Vera. He's the one who watches Vera get filled up with embalming fluid and just overflow, which is a hilarious scene in its own right and has its own kind of mood to it, you know, because I love the design of the embalming machine. It just looks so imposing and so kind of evil in its own way, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is a very intimidating device.
Definitely.
Very intimidating. And it's being run by a complete idiot, apparently. Because, that's exactly how Peter Jackson plays his character. He's just like a giddy fucking idiot. He even grabs the sandwich that was on. It's like, why is that a trope of when in morgue scenes, you know, where the mortician puts a sandwich on the goddamn corpse? Why is that a thing? And why is that in this movie?
I have no idea, but you're right. Like that's something that's been used in so many movies, especially in like 80s slashers and 80s horror movies. The mortician who has the sandwich for some reason. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's always a sandwich.
Yes.
It's never like a slice of pizza or maybe like a gyro or something. It's always just a basic ass white bread sandwich. Not even a sub sandwich. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's in that scene and he's incredibly silly. And The Undertaker himself was an interesting character. And once again, he pretty much just shows up in this one scene and he's never seen again.
Yeah.
But I like how he has to put Vera's eyes back in.
Yeah.
Just pop them
just
in.
sticks his fingers on him and like,
I mean, yeah, just that whole effect of all that embalming fluid coming out of Vera was hilarious as well, because she just inflates and then finally, it just goes all over the place, and of course Peter Jackson's just sitting there fucking laughing his ass off. But yeah, once again, that's another character that kind of just comes and goes.
Yes,
you know, I mean. There's some other ancillary characters that are interesting. Like, for instance, the dude that Paquita was crushing on initially, he comes back near the end of, like, the third act breakup and everything and punches the fuck out of Lionel. And that's kind of what leads Paquita to the Cosgrove house right before the zombie attack during the party. Is she notices that there's something going on at Lionel's house, and she goes to investigate. But what's interesting is that, I mean, he just completely just fucks off after that. Like, he just looks around, realizes Paquita isn't there, and he's just like, well, whatever.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Like, and you could tell that he's really full of himself, man. He's just talking about his rugby career. So,
yeah, babe, I'm a big rugby player. It's all about me. I mean, he's another character I would have liked to see his comeuppance later, I guess, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, it would have been funny if the zombies attack him and you see he's actually a really big coward or something and he can't do anything in the face of the zombies. He can't tackle a zombie. He can't do anything. It would have been interesting to see the movie play around with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because he is, of course, just your quintessential jock character, essentially, you know? And also, I mean, the characters that open this movie up are also hilarious. Like the three guides and the zoo official. I mean, I like how he tries to show his permit to the tribal chief at Skull Island as if he even knows what that shit is. You just pretty much look at it and just tear it to pieces. It's like they don't know what that is.
Yeah. Hey.
But then of course he just pulls out a firearm and he's just like, oh no, this will get them. This will send the message.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it gets him out of there with the monkey. I mean, he doesn't make it real far, but it gets him out of there at least.
Yeah, but I like that one moment before the monkey is flown out off of Skull Island or whatever, when the main guy just kind of looks and he knows what's up. He's just like, yeah, what the fuck did we just do here? It's like the money's good, but what did we just do? You know, what have we unleashed? And once again, we never see them. You never see them again. But also the zookeeper himself, you know, whenever in the scene where the rat monkey kills the other monkey, I mean, yeah, he's just pretty much there just to creep Paquita out and pour monkey blood on her.
And that's what all these characters really do, is that they serve a purpose in the script, and then once that purpose is fulfilled, they're not used again. And I mean, yeah, we can point out instances of oh, wouldn't that be cool if, you know, this happened later, but maybe the lack of those scenes also is just kind of a subversion of expectations, you know? It's like Peter Jackson wrote every thing in this film to be the mechanic by which the plot moves forward, and then that's it. It all serves a purpose. So it's very tight.
Well, yeah, like for instance, throughout the whole zombie attack scene is like you do kind of get these different zombies with different characteristics, you know? Like there's the one kind of nerdy dude with the camera and and he has glasses. Is like he eventually becomes the zombie that Les ends up sticking the garden gnome in his neck.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
You have guys like him. You have him. Of course, you have. Let's see, who else? Like, there's that one dude that's being pulled through the dummy waiter, and then he gets his entire lower half just ripped completely to shreds. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of interesting characters that are just kind of there just as a little one-offs, you know, just to kind of add a little extra character to the zombies themselves. Like, there's even that dude that gets his face skin, his head skin completely just ripped off of his head, just pulled off. And then there's that one scene where he just comes up and the effect is just all grody and gross and everything, but it's like Peter Jackson managed to add a lot of character to the people who become zombies here, and it actually makes the zombie attack much more memorable for it.
I mean, that's just a testament to, you know, the strength of the script, really. I mean, if you can introduce all of these characters even as one-offs that manage to have personalities in addition to fulfilling their purposes, then, you know, I think that's skillful.
Yeah, I mean, there's even some deleted scenes that were restored in the version that I saw, where some of these characters got a little more time to even kind of have some words to flesh out their character a little bit, even, you know, like with Rita a little bit, and with some of the other lesser characters that Les invites to the party. It's actually really interesting how they all even get extra development that Jackson took out for some reason. So
yeah. Let's see. The original U.S. cut was 97 minutes. Yeah, I mean it's a well-paced 97 minutes. So. I mean, even with what they took out, I thought the movie was good. I mean, maybe some of these extra scenes it's almost like the Lord of the Rings special editions, you know, the extended cuts, right? I mean, you have those extra scenes and they're fun to watch, but you realize why they were taken out. And again, I think that actually is a credit I can give to Jackson for his ability to know what makes a film work and how that pacing translates to an audience. You know, he's well aware of that.
Yeah. Definitely. That's something that needs to be said about this, is that it's an expertly edited movie. I mean, the editing just really I mean, there's essentially 3 cuts of this movie that I've seen. I've seen the R-rated cut, which is 87 minutes, and it's not the premiere version of the movie that you want to see, but that's actually the first version of the movie that I saw because that was the one that Hollywood Video had. And then I eventually found the 97-minute cut, the American release that's labeled Dead Alive, and then I just the other day, actually just yesterday, watched the fully restored extended version of it. And I can honestly say those are essentially very much 3 different movies in a way. I mean, like I said, there was some extra context to some of the characters at the party that was added in the fully restored version. And it's like, and in the R-rated version, like a lot of the gore is taken out, obviously, and it just doesn't flow nearly as well. It's kind of like trying to watch the R-rated cut of something like Ichi the Killer. Like it just doesn't work.
I watched the unrated cut.
Okay,
yeah, the 97-minute one. That's the version that I watched.
Yeah, the one I watched was the hour and 43-minute one, so it would be like 103 minutes. But like, I thought this movie was a little over long. I really did. Like, this is a fun movie. It should be a little easy breezier. Like, Evil Dead 2 is not an hour and a half long. Army of Darkness is not an hour and a half long. I thought those movies knew when, like, how much fun you could have with that concept, and then they cut it off at that point. I feel like this movie, or at least the cut that I saw, was a little over long. And I did think, I know we've been having pretty much a love fest over this movie. I do think there were stretches of this movie that dragged for me that I wish had been taken out of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I thought the version that I watched was actually pretty perfect. I mean, I thought like the 97 minutes was just right for it. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, it goes back to,
yeah, you should check out that cut.
In fact, that's one thing I might say about Lord of the Rings too, is it's like I would never recommend somebody watch the extended edition first. That's for the super fans.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but no, honestly, the 97-minute cut is probably the right cut for you then. If you felt that it really just kind of, there was parts of it that dragged, it's like a lot of that was cut out from the original 97-minute cut, and it does actually flow a lot better. I will say that. It's like I can totally tell why, I can 100% tell why Jackson ended up taking those scenes out, because yeah, it does make it a little overlong, and I mean, although it does add some crucial context to certain characters, it's context that maybe is just not needed, and that's why they were taken out. I mean, there's even literally a scene that's added that's just literally Paquita just kind of mulling about during the initial zombie attack. That's literally just a couple of seconds, and it's like, well, why was that restored? You know? It's literally just a few seconds of her just kind of milling about for a second, and it's like, well, okay, I kind of see why that was taken out. It's like there was some stuff at the funeral that was some extended stuff that was that you can definitely see why that was taken out, because the 97-minute version of that movie has that scene has a better flow to it, and it's much more comedic, a lot more tight. Like, yeah, the 97-minute cut is a much tighter movie, and it's probably a lot more indicative of what the actual script was like, I would like to think, because it is essentially the cut that Peter Jackson says is his favorite version of the movie. So yeah, if there's a cut that you want to start off with, yeah, the 97-minute cut is absolutely the one that you should go with, like hands down. And it's like the hour and 40-minute one. It was interesting just for someone who's seen this movie so many times to actually see pretty much a brand new version of the movie. I mean, it actually made it a very different movie through and through.
Yeah, that's an interesting take on that. Obviously, I didn't have that because I hadn't seen the movie before, but I can appreciate what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, the fully hour 43-minute long version, I mean, yeah, adds some context that needed, but also adds a lot of stuff that's just not needed. And it's like, yeah, this stuff being cut out of the 97-minute cut, it's just a lot better pacing, a lot better comedic timing, and there's just some stuff in there that's just superfluous. So yeah, that's what I will say about it.
This is a similar conversation to what we're going to have later this season. Because I can echo a lot of the same sentiments with the Lord of the Rings extended editions. Like, yeah, I mean, there's some extra context here, and it's cool, and I like to see what happens to this character. But I can understand why this is the theatrical version. And again, that is the part of the filmmaking process. I mean, I think we talked about this on Fantastic Four. Like, that was a movie I felt like probably could have used the few extra minutes that they cut from it to develop a little bit better. So
Yeah,
it's always kind of a tightrope there. You got to find that balance. And again, I think that Peter Jackson is one of those guys that actually does know that balance. What makes a film flow well? Because you really have to think about that. We have to give just enough to the audience to understand the story, but not too much to lose them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's what made the Lord of the Rings movies just fantastic cinematic experiences was, what he cut out of it. Obviously he wasn't going to be able to fit every little bit of goddamn Lord of the Rings into these movies without losing something in translation. So, I mean, he did the best he could, and he made those into really good cinematic experiences that you can sit in a movie theater and get into and everything, Yeah. But I can tell you right now, if I would have seen the extended version of those movies, I probably would have checked out eventually.
Oh yeah,
So it's like,
definitely. Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Again, that's another thing. It's for the super fans. For something like this, like, yeah, you've seen this movie a few times. Yeah, watch the full version and get all of the gratuitous splatter exploitation. But otherwise,
definitely.
yeah.
Like I'm here. I have the 97 cut running right now. We're already at the probably in the middle of the zombie attack already. And if we would have had the fully uncut version, it's like, we wouldn't even be halfway through this damn movie. It feels like. But anyway, I guess that we can go ahead and start wrapping things up now. Stu, as always, we will start our final thoughts on Dead Alive, a.k.a. Braindead, with you.
So this is a movie that, like I said, I thought dragged in parts, but the rest of the movie is fun. Like, you can tell how inspired he was by like 80s and 70s gore and exploitation movies and everything. And I can appreciate what he was going for, but I thought the movie took too long to get to the fun splatter fest at the end. I thought the first two acts were maybe a little too long. I was a little tired of the stuff where Lionel was trying to hide the zombies instead of just deciding like he was going to kill them all. But I mean, it's a fun movie. It's enjoyable enough, and the stuff that's fun is really fun. The stuff that I enjoyed, I really got into. I just wish it had been a little more well balanced.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, Ash, final thoughts.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. This is a fun splatter film. This film had me cringing and laughing and screaming and much to the chagrin of my neighbors. But I loved it, man. It was a good experience. I would happily put this on in the background while I'm doing like editing or anything. I think it's a great movie for that. My only real complaint is that we didn't see the Nazi veterinarian get his comeuppance. Peter Jackson wrote a Nazi into the script. And didn't kill him off in a gratuitous way. What did he mean by that? No, I'm just kidding.
Stupid.
But no. This is a great movie. It's fun. It's right in our bailiwick. And yeah.
Right on. As for me, this was one of those movies that when me and back in the 90s, I went to this one website called the Horror Vault. Or something, the Vault of Horror, or something like that, and it had pretty much this one page that was a list of what they, in their opinion, was like the essential horror movies that you need to see, and that was like everything from like Hellraiser to Pumpkinhead to like the Living Dead trilogy to Halloween and Friday the 13th and Alien and all of that, but. that's where I actually found out about this movie, Dead Alive. And when me and my buddy Joey, if you're listening, what's up, Joey? We would go to Hollywood Video, and we went through a whole kick where we were buying VHS tapes of just all these great old school horror movies, like Shining, the Shining and stuff like that. And this was one of the movies that we rented one night, and it was the VHS version, which was the 87-minute cut. But even then, I knew that this was a special movie that I had to find uncut. So when I finally found it on at least the 97-minute uncut version, I saw it, and I finally got to see all the gore and all of its splendor. I was just like, yes, you know, because it filled that void in me for just really, really gratuitous gore and just outright silliness. And it still had a good story behind it, even with the 87-minute cut. But this is one of those movies that was really instrumental in me really kind of getting deeper into horror. So that's what makes this movie kind of important for me, and why I needed to bring it to the podcast to talk about, especially during Spooky Month, was because, I mean, this pretty much helped, this and Evil Dead especially, helped me kind of seek into the more like extreme elements of horror, you know? I mean, and eventually I started to get into more disturbing stuff, you know, like Ichi the Killer or you know, Cannibal Ferox or stuff like that and everything. But this was a good kind of entry point into that type of extreme gore and violence. You know, maybe this or Riccio.
I love Riccio.
Up till now is like the goriest movie that we've done. Yeah, we did that in our first season.
Yep.
That's to this point, like the goriest movie we've done. I mean, I'm pretty sure that in the finale of that movie with the meat grinder, they probably pumped just about as much blood as they pumped during the lawnmower scene, which was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gallons in its own right.
I'm just glad that little fat shit got his comeuppance.
Oh, of course, fuck that little fat fuck. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of comparable to Riccio just in its its gratuitous violence and everything. But yeah, I'm happy to have come across this movie. It introduced me to a lot of Peter Jackson's earlier works, you know, like Meet the Feebles, Heavenly Creatures, which, you know, Kate Winslet movie you should definitely check out if you haven't seen it. It's more of a dramatic movie, but it's based on a true story, and it's pretty morbid. And in bad taste, of course, and it kind of helped my appreciation of horror just grow so much, and my appreciation of filmmaking and everything. So yeah, this is a pretty essential movie for me that is just important to me in so many ways. So
hell yeah.
So now that we've talked about it, I mean, I'm happy. I'm glad that we were able to do this. It's just a movie that brings me a great amount of joy. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I would say start with the 97-minute cut, and then check out the hour and 43-minute long version, and just revel in it.
True.
This is a movie that you just revel in. Yeah. But yes, that is Peter Jackson's Braindead, a.k.a. Dead Alive. Stu, what's going on with Stu World Order at the moment?
All kinds of stuff. I am in the middle of batch recording, so I'm getting a whole bunch of episodes recorded. I'm currently recorded and scheduled and edited up through the end of January this year. So I am just in a hole, just doing all my work together, getting episodes lined up and ready to go for the future. But the Stu World Order, we do randomly drawn comic book movies with our guest. I've had you guys on the show before. We've talked a comic book movie, but that's the point of the podcast. And the website is SWOproductions.com, where we have new articles every single weekday. Entertainment-based articles, movie reviews, TV show watch-throughs. We've got some fiction going on over there. So we've got all kinds of stuff over on the website also.
Fuck yeah, man.
Excellent. And Ash, what's up with Collateral Gaming?
Well, we got out our anniversary special. Bo, you joined me for that. We did a Let's Play. So I was going to collab with Collateral Let's Play, where we did The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, the original game that pretty much made me a gamer. So that was a lot of fun. We also that same night recorded another segment of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So go check out the latest Collateral Let's Play. But as for Collateral Gaming, next we should be getting out our season premiere. And I'm a little bit late on it, but by the time this is out, hopefully we'll have at least recorded part 1. But we are covering Fallout 4. We may or may not have a guest or two on there, so I'm still just kind of trying to work it out and get everybody together. But I've been playing through Fallout 4, and it's been a blast, so we're going to have a 2-part episode on that. And then our spooky month will consist of Chronos: The New Dawn, Silent Hill F, which are both 2 new horror games. So we'll do spoiler-free reviews on those as game lunch reviews. And then our Halloween special is going to be Resident Evil Code Veronica. So we're also going to have some retro horror content. And we'll figure out something to do for Collateral Gaming bonus round. Bo might have had an idea at some point that you mentioned to me.
Yeah, it was Sweet Home,
That's right,
the OG game that inspired Resident Evil.
Yeah, so if nothing else, we'll probably end up doing that. So stay tuned for that. And then November, we're actually going to be covering Ghost of Yotei, and I'm really, really excited for it. It's actually coming out in October, but I wanted to devote October to Spooky Month content. So we'll do a 2-part episode where part 1 will be our spoiler-free review, and then part 2 will go full spoiler because Ghost of Tsushima is up there in like my top 10 games of all time. So I'm super, super stoked for the sequel. And also very, very, very stoked for Metroid Prime 4, which is coming out in December, and we're going to be covering that for our December content. And then because we usually do Zelda month in December, we're actually going to make our holiday special, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So that's everything that's coming up on Collateral Gaming up through the end of the year. If I can get around to it here within the next couple of weeks, I'd also like to do a Hollow Knight plus Silksong bonus round episode, because that's been getting a lot of buzz, and want to give support to the devs at Team Cherry, obviously. But and Stu, I don't know if you do any gaming, but if you're always welcome to guest on the show if you do.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm not the world's biggest gamer, but I'm a big Phoenix Wright fan.
Yeah.
I always like and comment on your guys' Phoenix Wright stuff. And I'm a big Fallout 4 guy, so I'm definitely interested in checking those out at least. And yeah, I could definitely be on sometime.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, Phoenix Wright Wednesday is back on Collateral Let's Play, and hopefully we'll be actually releasing those with some regularity here as we sort of work down a system. It's easiest for Bo and I to do it in person when I come down there. So
yeah, so it's probably going to be like maybe a twice a month thing, maybe like
something like that. Yeah. And also, as I discussed with Bo, we may even branch out into some other visual novel stuff like Danganronpa. Or Zero Escape, or I just played Shoot in Order, and that's something I'd like to play through with you.
Awesome. Yeah. I look forward to that. That sounds interesting. And
fuck yeah.
And for Collateral Cinema, at this point, we should have our Space Ghost Coast to Coast review that we did with Robbie Sherman from Conversations with Robbie Sherman. That will be out. Also, we do have our Meek-a-versary episode that we did recently, where we talked about Fudo, the new generation, with Jason from Dads from the Crypt. And our next episode is, as Ash said, it's going to be The Evil Dead. I'm currently trying to figure out who's going to be guesting on that episode. I think we're going to have a guest. We'll announce that sometime soon. But yeah, look for that coming very soon as well.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited. That was my pick. And it's got a lead who's a man named Ashley. And he's my prime example. Anybody tries to bring that shit up with me, I'm like, dude, this is one of the biggest badasses in cinema, and his name is Ashley.
Absolutely.
So fuck you.
Yeah. You should just tell him that this is your boomstick. It's like,
yeah.
Screw it, right?
I don't know. Maybe instead of the Ryan Gosling memes, I should do some Ash Williams memes every once in a while. That would be fun.
Yeah. In the same manner. Yeah, definitely do that.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely do that. And you can find Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming on all the podcasting apps, mainly Good Pods and Apple Podcasts, where you can give us 5-star reviews and help us climb the ranks on Good Pods and also on the podcast charts and everything. And also, we are on YouTube. You can watch our videos there, along with the Let's Plays and everything. So yeah, we're on all the podcasting apps, all the social media apps, and yeah, I guess that we do have a subreddit, but we don't ever do anything with it.
Except that
we ought
one
to do
guy that
something
came
with
to
that.
argue with us because he just wanted to be a shithead.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, no, screw that guy. But yeah, I guess that with all that said, we can go ahead and wrap things up. Anything to add, y'all?
No, but Stu, thanks again for being on, man. I mean, at this point, you're a buddy.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. I like interacting with you. I like being on the show. I've liked having you guys on my show. So yeah, I'm happy to be here anytime.
Absolutely. And anytime you need us on your show, just hit us up. Like anytime.
Oh, yeah, bro.
All right, will do. I will keep you in mind.
Definitely. Well, all right. This has been the season premiere of season 9 of Collateral Cinema. There's much more to come, so stick around, folks. Anything else? No. Laters, y'all. Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.